I'm Jared Haynes, and this is Yeti Paintball. Today I want to talk to you about the Carbon Nano barrel. All right, I just smashed another paintball in my fingers. We're going to rub this onto the Nano barrel. 1, 2. This might be one of the very best barrels on the market. So this barrel right here promises an improvement in accuracy, and the way that they say they're going to achieve that is kind of a first on the market in the sense of it has micro porting technology, basically really small holes instead of larger holes like you would see here on this stock Planet Eclipse barrel. And these small holes will keep out debris, water, and paint essentially as you're shooting to give you better accuracy, less clogging inside the barrel, while still allowing any paint on the inside to escape and be pushed out as you're shooting. So I want to go ahead and test this, see if it really lives up to that accuracy improvement. Now the way that I want to do that is going to be pretty simple. I'm going to use a hose with a shower head on it, and if I rub some paint on the outside of this and then shoot, is that one-shot accuracy going to be there, or am I going to notice that stuff is dripping inside the barrel and affecting that first shot until the paintball clears it out? So real quick, before we go out and shoot this barrel, I want to talk to you about the inserts that they're going to run. Now if you take a look here, you're going to see that it says it'll run any PWR barrel inserts. So what that means is that you can take a Planet Eclipse, so here's my stock barrel with a Planet Eclipse insert, and I can put that directly into the carbon barrel and be able to run the Planet Eclipse inserts, which is pretty cool because if I already run a Planet Eclipse gun, which many people do, I don't have to go out and purchase new inserts. However, if you do need to get a new insert, you're gonna be looking at about $24-ish per size, or you can buy it in a full kit and save yourself a little bit of money. But I tend to run 3 different insert sizes to get that small, medium, and then larger sized paint. But either way that you decide to go, it is a very good tried and true insert system, which that is a huge portion of getting that accuracy. If you do not size your paintballs to the insert and you're running a larger paintball than the insert size, doesn't matter what barrel front you have on, you are going to have bad accuracy and bad performance. This barrel front is not going to shoot well without the proper insert. So make sure that you have a ball sizer and get the right inserts. And if you do, you're gonna find as we go out here and shoot, the accuracy on this barrel and the sound that it produces is awesome. Now I wanna see if it can hold out that debris and water as they claim, and if so, this might be one of the very best barrels on the market. And lastly, before we go out and shoot these barrels, I wanted to talk to you about the weight difference. So the stock barrel that came on my Planet Eclipse 180R came in at a weight of 3.90 ounces, and the Carbon Nano barrel, both of these weighed without an insert in it, is going to come out to be 2.52 ounces. It is a pretty noticeable difference. Now that's going to be something, if you liked a heavier barrel out front, then maybe you would prefer a heavier one, but I find that it gives me a lot quicker movement with the gun, keeping it as light as possible. I run a Spire IR2 loader, so that way it's lighter than like the Dye LTR, and I run a Ninja super light tank so that I can keep my gun set up as light as possible to be able to move as quick as possible and get those pop out, you know, single or double shots when you're playing in those close combat one-on-one battles. And so this just helps add to reducing your weight because they're running that back carbon plastic injection, basically back portion, which really drops down the weight compared to the whole thing being the aluminum. All right, we've moved outside to test the rain portion of the barrel on the nano porting compared to just standard porting. So what I'm doing is I've got the hose set up here behind me on the mist setting. I'm gonna hold both barrels, the stock Planet Eclipse barrel and the nano barrel, under the mist for 10 seconds each, kind of giving them a rotation. And then we're gonna look down the barrel, see if any water made it through. And then we're also gonna look on the outside of the barrel and see what the water droplets appear to be doing. Are they dropping through? Are they just hovering over top of the barrel? And then we'll move to the paint testing portion. All right, we got a clean Planet Eclipse barrel with no water on it. So let's go ahead and hold it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Go ahead and bring this back. So if we look on the outside, you can definitely see that it's got a lot of water all over the outside. And if we look here at these holes, you can definitely see where it's starting to drip in. So let's go ahead and spin over here so we're out of the mist. Is there anything on the inside? And I do my best to kind of show you. On the inside, there is definitely water in there. And if I run my hand across the barrel, there is definitely water that is soaked in. So let's go ahead and try the Nano barrel. All right, Nano barrel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's move back over here out of the mist. So as you can see here, the Nano barrel definitely has a lot of water on it, but if you look closely at the holes, not a one of the holes has water like ready to drop into the barrel. Now let's turn this around and see if you can see down in it. This barrel has 0 water that has made its way through. Looks absolutely spotless. Now if we run our hand down, getting what is on the outside off best we can, and we look down here, there is still no water that appears to have made it into the barrel. So I can definitely say in the water testing portion of the Planet Eclipse stock barrel against the Nano barrel did by far win that battle because it had no water that got through, as where the larger portholes on the Planet Eclipse standard barrel definitely did let in water, and that was just with a mist setting. So let's move on to the paint testing. I'm going to get some paint and rub it down each one of these, see if anything gets into them, and then we're going to move into just that single shot accuracy and some sound testing. First barrel we're going to test is going to be the stock Planet Eclipse. I have a paintball here that I just smashed in my fingers. We're going to run that just down the barrel, see if anything makes its way through. This is going to simulate rubbing up against a bunker. See if anything makes it in. So there's nothing that I pushed down into the barrel. I'm going to bring this up. You can see that simulates it rubbing against a bunker. And right here where it's starting to get thick, you can see these holes are plugged. And it is starting to leak into the barrel from that top portion a little bit. All right, I just smashed another paintball in my fingers. We're going to rub this onto the Nano barrel and see what that looks like. Again, simulating rubbing against a bunker and shooting. All right, let me get behind the camera and show you guys what this looked like. So if you take a look down the barrel, it does look like the little tiny micro holes do have plugging going on, so they have definitely got some paint in them. It does not appear that any of the paint has made it through on this one. So the holes definitely have a little bit of plugging, but it seems like it's having a hard time leaking down into the barrel. All right, now I want to shoot each one of these in this painted up kind of state, and we're also going to do a little bit of sound comparison. All right, first gun that we're going to go and do some shooting on is going to be the stock Planet Eclipse barrel. So we've got some plugged holes still on there, as you can see. So let's go ahead and shoot this, go and listen to the sound, and we're going to see what happens. Okay, if we move back down here to the barrel, does not look like those plugged holes really changed any. There was definitely a lot of paint spraying though as we were shooting this. I want to shoot it one more time and have you listen to the sound of the barrel. Okay, let's go ahead and switch to the Nano barrel. All right, we got the Nano barrel on there. Bring that up here. You can see it has some plugged little micro holes on there. So let's go ahead and shoot this and see if it clears itself out. If we bring that barrel back up here, a lot of the holes, if you look like right in this section, have pushed a lot of the paint out and are actually getting breathing room. And so they are clearing themselves out. There are still holes that are plugged, but it does appear to be clearing itself out. And I'm gonna throw some more paintballs in here, and then I want you to focus on the noise that the barrel makes, as well as some of the accuracy. Okay, back over with a full hopper again. Listen to these shots. So the carbon barrel has a little bit more of a thud, like a dead sound, a little bit quieter than the Planet Eclipse barrel. And the other thing I want you to try and notice on this is just how laser straight the paintballs are coming out of the Nano barrel with all the debris and stuff that we had put on here compared to the other one, the stock Planet Eclipse barrel. This one, to my eye, appears to be shooting a little bit straighter. It doesn't have as much friction to overcome from some of the paint leaking into the barrel. So let me come back here. So if you look at that, not one of those paintballs strayed off to the right or to the left, is where when I was shooting with the stock Planet Eclipse barrel, some of those paintballs were kicking left and right. And I believe that's from having, like I said, some of that debris in the barrel. It's just making it spin different as it's coming out. So I would definitely say I'm very impressed with the weight reduction, the ability to keep out that water that we saw with the Nano barrel, as well as it being able to clear its portholes on the front of the barrel and be able to shoot. So I hope you like this review of the Carbon Nano barrel. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel for more content like this coming out soon. Thank you for watching.